Hey folks, Ryan Osborne here with Oz Coaching. So today's tip is another method of kind of breaking up tension within the muscles, specifically within that connective tissue and fascia. Definitely, in my view, a more aggressive way, hands down, way more effective at kind of getting an area that just may be nagging in terms of tension. So for today, we're going to talk specifically about the hamstrings. And yes, foam rolling and even stretches certainly have their place and whatnot. But I think that when you're talking about kind of really targeting either some trigger points, any maybe kind of specific area that may be kind of on an under layer that's tight, because not always obviously tension is surface-based tension. You may have obviously pockets of tension that's really built within. Maybe you're overcoming a strain that you've had, you know, in the past and it never really recovered. So pay attention if you're a runner and or you do lift weights, specifically deadlifts and squats, but also we all sit, most of us, a lot. So obviously hamstrings naturally are tight just because they're in a tight position. So utilizing this kind of mobility ball, it has spikes, so it's kind of similar to how certain foam rollers have knobs on it to kind of get a little bit in deeper. It's the same premise. It's not fun. If you are tight and have a lot of tension or discomfort, you're definitely going to feel it. But obviously a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, a golf ball, you can get these at department stores, Amazon, but this one just, you're able to kind of really dig and twist with your body. So all you're going to do, sit on something that has a bit of hardness to it. So use your table, depending on the density of your chair, but I wouldn't say if it's kind of half soft, it's really not going to work beneficial. So literally sitting on a table may work best. I'm on obviously like a step. So I'm just going to place the ball. You're going to literally place it in different pockets, kind of like distal, which would be close to the knee, middle, and maybe higher up. But literally just put it down. Put obviously the weight of your leg, but even use your hand. Maybe you could use a dumbbell or a medicine ball to even put more pressure on it. Once you have a bit of pressure, then all you're going to do is look to obviously lengthen and shorten the muscles and also the connective tissue, so that ball can get really in there and do its work with some of the deeper layers of the tension, which for a lot of people that's where it tends to be. So literally basically slow, controlled movements, extending up. You can rotate the foot out, you can rotate the foot in, so the ball then can kind of get in medial and distal and lateral and all different ways. And then you can work down at the tip towards the knee, do the same. But also certainly a key area, especially for you runners that may be watching this, think about like kind of the glute attachment. So, you know, you're talking about not the highest part of your pelvis, but kind of just below your sit bone. That's where kind of the two overlap with respect to your hamstrings and your glutes. And that's where it can be quite tension, or a lot of tension, and quite discomforting for some people. But again, park yourself for about a couple of minutes each side, and be curious to kind of see, you know, what kind of feelings you get. It may not be the best feeling. It might be how, when you've probably started foam rolling for the first time, it may have been discomforting. It's a different way. It gets in deeper, but it certainly is able to break up the tension, in my view, way more effectively than really the foam roller or, say, basic stretching will do. And if you're something that you haven't really got to kind of fully recovered from using other modes of mobility or stretching, then try that little method with any type of ball, and hopefully something like that works well in your favor. As always, comments and or shares are greatly appreciated, and we will talk soon.